Some say creating captivating video requires years of training, a Hollywood budget, and sacrificing your firstborn pixel. I say, seriously? Give me the next few minutes and I'll show you how Dzine AI lets you command the digital screen like a seasoned maestro. The power is closer than you think. Now I know what sharp minds like yours are pondering. Adrian, does this image to video thing in Dzine AI actually work? Or is it just digital smoke and mirrors designed to depart me from my hard-earned crypto? Is it available on a starving artist budget? Or has this also been hit with a big, beautiful tariff? And the most burning question of all, where does Adrian find the time to be both devastatingly insightful about AI and maintain this effortlessly charismatic screen presence? Stick with me as we answer all these questions and more. Why not follow along with your boy Adrian? Just click the link in the description below. Once you're logged in, we're going to click on New Project. At this point, you can give your project a name and you can set a size for your canvas, or you can just cancel to leave the project as untitled and the default aspect ratio of 1:1. Okay, we're in the New Project area, and today we're going to focus on Dzine AI's video features. So I want you to go over here on the left side and click on AI Video. How will we assess Dzine AI's digital prowess? With my internationally acclaimed Focus Review System, which stands for Features, Output, Cost, Usability, and Speed. Features. Does Dzine AI bring the right tools to the party? Okay, let's do a quick run through of what Dzine AI provides as far as image to video and lip sync, and then we'll come back and we'll dive deep and create some incredible masterpieces. For the overview, let's check out the video models available. We have Standard, Kling, Mini Max Hlu, Luma, Runway, and WAN 2.1. Now I did reach out to the Dzine AI team. They informed me that Standard, their proprietary video model, is going to go away soon. So we'll skip that one. As I go through each one of these, I'm going to point out a few differences with the other models. If I click on Kling 1.6, you'll see that we have a beginning frame, an end frame, prompt area, imagination slider, duration 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Don't worry, I'll come back and we'll go into greater detail on these different options. All of the models under the image to video tab allow you to start with an image, of course, image to video, and offer you a prompt box where you can give some direction to the video that you'd like to create. However, the other options that you see in this panel may not be available based on the video model you choose. Let's check it out. Mini Max Hlu. You see that we just have the option for a beginning image, and we have our prompt box, and we have something extra here, the camera control. This camera control is pretty cool. It's only available right now with the Mini Max Hlu model. And if I click here, you'll see that we can choose from debut, freedom, left circling, all of these different options. We can hover over and we can get an example what each looks like. We can even go over here to this other tab, free selection. This gives us a little more control. We can say truck left, truck right, pan left, pan right, and so on. So feel free to go in here and explore all these different options. Keep in mind that you can still specify these different types of instructions in your prompt. However, you also, with the Mini Max Hlu video model, you have the option of specifying those under the camera control settings. I'm going to close that and let's click on Luma. With Luma, we have the option of picking an image for our end frame as well as the image for our beginning frame. Let's click on Runway. And Runway, we also get to choose an end frame. For Runway, we also get to specify 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Now, and the ones like we just looked at for Luma, where it does not specify 5 seconds or 10 seconds, it's going to be just 5 seconds. Runway gives us the option of 10 seconds. And then we have the new option, WAN 2.1. And you'll see here, it says beta. And right now it's free. So I highly encourage you to jump in and play around with this, because I'm sure it will not always be free. If I click on WAN 2.1, you'll see that we have the option of 5 seconds and 10 seconds. And like I said, we'll come back and we'll dive deep into creating some cool stuff using image to video. Now let's quickly explore the lip sync panel, where you'll see that we can choose a face image, or we could even upload a face video. And Dzine AI will do its best to respect what's going on in the video while still applying lip sync features to the character in the video. Below that, you'll see we have an option to pick a voice. Now that's a little misleading because if you click here, you'll see we not only get to pick a voice, put in whatever text we'd like for that voice to say, we also have the option of uploading audio, which I love because my favorite thing to do when creating lip sync videos is to create songs such as in Suno and then upload those. As you'll see in a little bit with some songs that I've created, we'll upload those here and then create a lip sync video with our character singing the lyrics or even rapping to that song. With Dzine AI offering this level of sophisticated weaponry, it's an unequivocal 5 stars for features. Does Dzine AI provide compelling video outputs, enough to make your social media followers green with envy? Let's find out. Here we are with Grunge Dog, one of the amazing characters that we created in my last video, in which we focused on Dzine AI's abilities to create consistent characters, which it does a fantastic job on. If you didn't watch that video, make sure you check out that video. Alright, we're going to create a video using image to video for each of these different video models, and we're going to compare those. We're going to skip standard since that's going to be retired soon. For image, you can click here to browse to an image that you would like to use, or if you have an image on your canvas in your project, it will automatically assume that image. And I have a prompt prepared. Now my prompt here has a structure. This is a structure that I found very useful for image to video creations. I'll include it in the description below. Feel free to try it out. If you have any questions, let me know. It's kind of similar to my text to image framework, however a little different, focusing on the movement that we want to happen in the image. So for focal subject movement, I have a dog-headed figure strides confidently toward the camera, radiating authority and power. Other movement, neon signs flicker and pulse. Camera movement, a slow zoom in, emphasizing the figure's piercing intense gaze. I'm asking for dramatic shadows. And for the mood, I'm saying basically cinematic. I'm going to leave the imagination slider in the middle, and we're going to create a 5-second video. Let's generate. And here's our creation. I think the zoom in worked well. He has an intense look. However, I don't see a sign flickering in the background. Besides that, I think Kling did a great job. To try Mini Max Hlu, we simply click that video model, and even though Hlu offers these camera controls, I'm not going to specify those because I want to test the exact same prompt with all the different models. And the prompt already includes information about what we would like the camera to do, the slow zoom in, and that's all we need. So I'll click generate. Pretty good. Now, Minimax, I would have to say, actually did a better job because I forgot that I did mention that the character strides toward the camera, and Minimax picked that up. And he comes toward the camera. We have a slow zoom in to his intense gaze. So good job to Minimax. All right, we're now going to try Luma, and I'll click generate. Here's the result. No walking toward the camera. We do have the slow zoom in. We do have a somewhat intense look. However, the eyes just look very strange. And there's a little bit of unnecessary glowing on Grunge Dog's shirt. Okay, let's try Runway and click generate. Here we go. First of all, I would have to say the zoom is even more interesting in this one. I like that it's not a straight zoom. It's a little bit of moving in the zoom. Although you could argue that I did not specify that, and it might be better to strictly follow the instructions that you provided in your prompt. Also, he is not walking toward the camera, which I asked for in the prompt. However, when it comes to the character's intense, piercing gaze into the camera, I would have to say that this version, provided by Runway, did the best job. Here's the result we received from Wan 2.1, and he is taking a step, but just one step. However, it's not toward the camera, and it's in slow motion. Wan is currently free, and you can run 5 or 10-second generations. And since it's in slow motion, we're going to try 10 seconds. Okay, so here is the Wan 2.1 version, 10 seconds long. Still not walking toward the camera, still walking in slow motion. It's interesting. However, we do get a lot of warping halfway through this video. all of the background from this point forward gets pretty messy. Okay, we have another awesome picture of Grunge Dog. And for this one, we're going to have Grunge Dog glancing back and then looking back forward and then gunning the engine to accelerate quickly. And I wanted to test these different video models with something going on in the background. And so I specified an alien craft looms into you on the glowing horizon. Low rear tracking shot emphasizing the acceleration, dust kicking up, sunset flaring. And for style and mood, I'm saying sci-fi rebel vibe with a cinematic apocalyptic sunset. And let's see what happens. And here's our output. I don't see the glance back, but Grunge Dog is definitely accelerating, gunning the engine, and we're getting extra dust coming up, and there's no alien spacecraft in the distance. Okay, let's try the next one. Mini Max Hlu and generate, and our result. Holy smokes. Okay, Hlu just really wanted to deliver on everything we were saying. He definitely glances back, I'll give you that, and then looks back forward, accelerates. A little too much dust. He is on the road. He is not driving in the sand that we see at the side of the road. And this spacecraft just, holy macaroni. It is massive, and it looks like it does not fit the lighting of the scene very well. I haven't seen a spacecraft in real life, so I don't know. So who am I to judge? But my goal was to have it very subtly appearing in the distance, and maybe I should have been a little more explicit in my instructions on that. We're going to narrow this down to what I think are the top 4 AI video contenders as far as the other generations that we'll create. So we'll focus on Kling, Mini Max Hlu, Runway, and WAN 2.1. We're going to skip standard. As I mentioned earlier, I chatted with the Dzine AI team. They're going to retire that model soon. And Luma, as far as my testing and all the experimenting that I've done, I feel that the other models are delivering better outputs than Luma. So moving forward, Kling, Mini Max, Runway, and WAN 2.1. All right, and let's look at Runway. And here's what Runway delivered for us. Well, I don't see any acceleration. It almost looks like he is going backwards, but he's getting actually closer to the cars in front of him. There's extra dust coming up, but the dust is moving forward, and we don't have an alien spacecraft in the distance. So, nice try, Runway, but you didn't deliver this time. And WAN 2.1, there does seem to be a little bit of acceleration, and we have some extra dust flying up in the back behind the motorcycle. We do have an alien spacecraft. It is a little more in the distance. It seems a little more realistic than that big crazy one we saw a minute ago. Okay, now it's time for Hipcat, also one of the characters that I created during that last video where we explored Dzine AI's consistent character features. He's super cool. All right, we're going to start with Kling. Hipcat will be puffing on his cigar. That's our goal. Grooving to the beat. Crowd in the background swaying, immersed in rhythm. We're asking for the camera movement to be a smooth circular pan around Hipcat. The style and mood, sunset lounge vibe, mellow and cool. I love it. He's puffing the cigar. He moves his head a little. It's not exactly as I wanted. I kind of wanted an up and down motion. Maybe I should have specified up and down motion. He's just kind of shaking his head back and forth. We definitely have the crowd moving around to some music as if they're watching maybe a band playing. And we have a nice circular pan around Hipcat as far as the camera. I'm really happy with this one. Mini Max Hlu. Well, we got the crowd dancing in the background. The dancing is a little strange. Almost looks like they're about to do some line dancing, but we do not have any camera motion. Hipcat's definitely puffing on the cigar, but he is puffing a heck of a lot of smoke out of the side of his face before he even puffs on the cigar. All right, Mini Max Hlu, nice try. Let's go to Runway. Okay. All right. Crowd is frozen in the background. We have a little camera movement. It's kind of going one way a little bit, then back the other way. Our hip cat has one unlit cigar in his hand, and he has a lit cigar in his mouth that is acting strangely. It's almost not acting like a cigar. He just has steady smoke coming out of his mouth. Okay, that was Runway. 2.1. Pretty cool. I like this one. The crowd is not dancing. We do have one person turning to see what's going on with HipCat. We have a little bit of camera movement. We also have some movement of HipCat's chair. It even looks like the turntable's moving a little bit. It appears that HipCat is swiveling in his chair a little, and it even looks like the turntables are turning a little. It almost looks like he skips the puff of the cigar, and then a lot of smoke coming out. This one has a good feel to it. And 2.1 for some reason likes to go slow, so I went ahead and generated a 10-second version. And I'd have to say it looks very cool. HipCat looks remarkably hip. Okay, we got HipCat rapping on stage. We're going to try first with Kling 1.6. For my prompt, I want him to be bobbing to the music. I want him to raise his left paw with swagger and style and attitude. I'm not saying all that here, but come on, AI model, you get the point, right? You know what swagger is. We'll find out. Crowd turns toward HipCat because for some reason in this picture, they're facing the other direction. We're asking for the crowd to turn around, cheer him on, and smooth orbit around HipCat is what we're asking for. The camera movement, let's generate. He's bobbing to the music. He's putting left and right paws into the air. The microphone disappears at one point there, and the crowd is maybe cheering him on. I don't know if they're cheering for HipCat because they have not turned around to face him. They're facing the other direction still. Max Hlu. Wow. The crowd looks like they're maybe at some sort of conference as opposed to a concert. They suddenly all put their hands up and decided to clap. HipCat's moving not quite as cool as the other video. He's kind of doing something strange with the wrist. And we got a bunch of flames coming up. The pyrotechnics of this concert may be a little out of control. I don't think the flames are supposed to be that close to HipCat. I certainly didn't ask for that. Okay, so Runway decided that these concert goers are going to be filming. One phone up, landscape mode, one phone up, portrait mode. However, this person on the left is not even really hanging onto their camera. It's just kind of floating in the air. HipCat's just jiggling. Okay, why not? And 2.1. This crowd is stubborn. No matter how cool HipCat is, they're not going to turn around. I did ask that the left paw comes up into the air. He was starting to raise his left paw toward the end of the video. He's definitely got a hip-hop attitude about him in this video. And now our beautiful warrior woman, another consistent character that I created in the last video. We'll start with Kling, and for my prompt, I'm specifying that she's channeling energy into the hammer and then hurls it powerfully. The three men in the background are knocked down in sequence by the powerful hammer, and snow is falling. The camera curves right so the hammer actions are clearly visible. The glowing hammer radiates energy with each rotation, and overall a cinematic high-intensity fantasy type of mood. Okay, not good. I think I asked for way too much in that prompt. Regardless, let's see if the other AI video models can do better and handle that prompt maybe a little more elegantly. And here it is in Mini Max Hlu. Okay, this prompt might be comical with all of the video models. Let's see. Runway? Okay, this one did not go crazy. It's not doing much at all, but at least it's not going nuts. And it looks very cinematic and beautiful, and we can see her rage. The snow is falling, the camera's moving nicely. And actually, I think it's probably better to have very little happening and have it happen very well and very nicely, as opposed to a bunch of cartoonish stuff going on. And here's one that I created with 2.1, and it looks quite cinematic. Okay, now we have our warrior woman at the burning castle. And for this prompt, I'm going to try to keep it simple, so hopefully our videos come out more reliable. I'm just specifying that she cautiously walks near the burning castle. Flames continue to burn in the background. Camera, dynamic tracking shot follows the warrior woman. And in the interest of trying to have the scene evolve somewhat, I'm specifying that the scene gradually darkens as if a large cloud moves overhead. And let's see what we get for clean. I think this turned out pretty good. Our warrior woman has a nice walk. She looks beautiful. Her sword is on fire. All the flames look realistic and nice. The scene gradually gets dark. I probably should have specified that the cloud forms a shadow over the castle as opposed to the whole scene going dark as if the scene is fading out. But overall, I think this is a great clip. Mini Max Hlu. Okay, some walkiness going on in this one. Our warrior woman turns, and then she does a little skippity skip, a little how do you do, a little soft shoe over to the right. It just looks kind of bizarre. And we have darkness coming in, but it's coming in the form of dark smoke. Okay, interesting concept, Minimax. Okay, here's Runway. Pretty good. There's just a little stagger in her step. I don't see any darkness coming into the scene, so it looks like it did not even attempt that part. So Juan 2.1 decided to apply some sort of interesting camera technique. It almost looks like it's an intentional technique to make the scene look more unsettling or more worrisome. There is some warping, but I could see how maybe you might want to create this type of camera movement to create a very uneasy feel about the situation. Okay, friends, if you saw my last video, which I hope you did, you'll be familiar with Nature Girl, one of the many consistent characters that we created using Dzine AI's consistent character feature, which we were able to create some beautiful images with. And now let's try creating a video with Nature Girl. I'm specifying that she is walking casually along the shore. The waves crash, the trees sway in the wind. There's a slow zoom in on Nature Girl. Birds fly across the sky, lightning strikes in the distance, and let's generate. And we received a message, submission denied. Your submission has been denied due to the presence of inappropriate prompts or images. So, while Dzine AI does support the ability to use a character such as Nature Girl in image creations, it appears with the video models, a character such as Nature Girl is not supported. However, your boy Adrian does have a slight workaround, at least for now. I'm going to click Done, and I'm going to go to Standard. Now, remember, I mentioned earlier that according to the Dzine AI team, the standard model is going to be retired soon. However, as of this recording, it's still available, and I was able to use this model for my image to video creation using Nature Girl. Here's the video. We have the nice waves crashing. We have lightning in the background. The lightning looks a little too pink. So the standard model did not give me the message that I showed you just a minute ago. So it did allow me to submit that request, and it did process that request. However, the model, which you're not seeing because I'm covering up certain parts, is attempting to add clothing as the video progresses to those parts that I'm covering up. So you might be happy with the first third of this video, but then at a certain point in this video, you would not be happy with the results because of what I just described. There's parts of clothing that are basically just being added as the frames progress in the video. Anyway, that's what we have right now as far as Dzine AI. As I discover more opportunities to create images and videos with Nature Girl or similar types of characters, I'll definitely let you know. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Okay, friends, now it's time to have some fun with lip syncing. So just click the second tab at the top where it says lip sync, and then you will click right here to pick a face image. And if you currently have an image on your project canvas, that will show up right there. You can click there to choose that, or you can choose any image that you would like. by clicking right here and then browsing to that image. I'm going to go ahead and click right here to choose the image that I currently have on our project canvas, and you'll get a prompt like this. And you can zoom out if you'd like, and I'd like to zoom out to about there. Lip syncing does require that you have a somewhat close view of the face. So something like this, or maybe even zoomed in a little bit more, works great. I like it slightly zoomed out, like right there. And I'll click done. And I'm going to click right here where it says pick a voice. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a little deceiving because you not only have the option of picking a voice and adding your text on what you'd like that voice to say, but you can click right here, you can upload audio, and I have a really cool song that I prepared using Refusion, which is similar to Suno. However, it's a new AI music model, and currently it's completely free and it produces some amazing songs. I think sometimes the songs are just as good as Suno. If you haven't checked out Refusion, you gotta check out Refusion. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in me making a video about Refusion, let me know in the comments. Your audio clip needs to be under 10 seconds long. So if you created a song with Suno or Refusion, you would open that up in an audio editor to trim that down. In my case, I used QuickTime. I just opened up the song and found my favorite 10 seconds of that song, and that's what I just uploaded. Okay, I'll close that prompt box and I'll click generate. And let's check out our results.
Summer vibes that bring the heat. Got your jaw down to your feet. Small package, maximum sass. Better pick your jaw. What's this tiny bit of class? About to make.
I like it. The only thing I don't like about the lip sync videos that I create in Dzine AI is I enjoy them so much that I want them to keep going and they stop. However, your boy Adrian did reach out to the Dzine AI team and they are working to extend this feature. So you're going to be able to create longer lip sync videos very soon in Dzine AI. Let's check out another example. I'm going to click here to remove, and then I'm going to go ahead and click this again, pick a face image. And this time I'm going to use this beautiful Pixar-like character that I created using Dzine AI's face match feature. I currently have it on the project canvas, but we need to actually make sure that Dzine AI knows that that's the image that we want to work with. So I'm going to click right here, pick a face image, and right here I see the image that we have on our project canvas. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'll click done. I'll click right here, text to audio, and I'm going to click the little trash can to remove our previous song. And I'm going to click right here to upload a different song. And I'll click generate.
Strapped on my boots, baby, watch me climb. Left the city stressed, now I'm doing fine. Trail mix in my pack, looking like a snack.
I love it. I want more. All right. Let's go to the next one.
Sweat is dripping, heart beats fast. These legs are built to make it last. The higher up these trails I climb.
I love it. So nice. Okay. And I have one more example to show you, which I think you're going to like this one the best. We're going to use this character with this pop art style design that we created in Dzine AI. And we're going to add a very cool 50s like song that I created in Refusion.
Hey there, sugar, come a little closer now. Got something special I've been dying to show.
So good. While chatting with the Dzine AI team, I also found out that they plan to support non-human characters in their lip syncing. Our amazing Grunge Dog and Hip Cat characters may be finding their voice very soon. You heard it here first. With a veritable smorgasbord of AI models to choose from for your image to video creations and amazing lip syncing capabilities, it's a resounding 5 stars for output. Speaking of output, what kind of video sorcery are you aiming for? Share your grand ambitions in the comments below. Cost. Does accessing this power require selling your soul? Let's find out. As you may be aware from my recent videos, Dzine AI is quite generous with credits for image creations. Video, however, requires a step up. You'll need at least the creator plan, $19.99 a month for 20 video creations, or the master plan, which is $59.99 a month for 60 videos. And as we all know, AI characters can be a bit moody, so they're not always going to nail their lines on the first take. Now, if you can take advantage of the teacher or student discount and get 70% off, then 6 stars. Otherwise, for cost, I'm giving 4 stars. Usability. Does the Dzine AI video creation go down as smooth as finely aged whiskey? The video creation interface is elegantly laid out and intuitive. 5 stars for usability. Finally, speed. Is working with Dzine AI like riding a bullet train or more like watching a continental drift? For image to video. Runway, a swift 35 seconds. Luma, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Wand 2.1, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Kling and Hlu, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. The lip sync videos, also averaging 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Considering the complex digital alchemy occurring, speed gets 5 stars. That gives an overall rating of Dzine AI's image to video and lip sync capabilities an impressive 4.8 stars. Now friends, the secret to great image to video creations is to actually start with great images. And I share the secrets to creating not only the characters that we worked with in this video, but also how to create your very own nature girl in my last video. Click right there so you don't miss out. Until next time friends, stay curious, stay creative, and most importantly, stay subscribed.